stuffed pork chops, okay? So I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I do when I make my stuffed pork chops. If you'd like to see this dinner meal, keep on watching. Okay, so right here you'll see I have a few things. So I have a packet of pork chops, and these are the center cut pork chops, so they're a little thicker, and I purchased mine from Aldi's. As you can see, this is how much it cost. It was $4. It wasn't expensive at all. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take that out, and I'm going to walk over to my sink to clean them really quick, so you guys can catch that in a second. Alright, so now that I have my chops right here and they are all cleaned off, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to season them with a few things, but not too much. Okay, so I have a few things that I'm going to season it with. I'm going to start off with this one right here. And this is our all-purpose right here. So I'm going to use that. And I'm going to season these up with that. And I'm going to make sure that I turn them over, because you don't want to have them seasoned on one side and not on the other. So I'm just flipping it just like that. Just like that, okay? Next, I'm going to use some steak seasoning. That's this one right here. And I'm just going to season that up. And this is a Monday night dinner, you guys. So this is how I cook, okay? So don't judge me. I enjoy what I do as a wife, okay? All right, so then next I'm going to use some garlic powder. And that's this one right here. Okay, and then last I'm going to use some maced onions. So that's this right here, and these are the onions, because we don't usually eat a lot of the onions that I peel, so I like to do these ones instead because it's a whole lot easier. Okay, all right, so now that I did that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you guys how I open the meat and cut it. Okay, so let me focus this a little bit better. Alright, so, but before I do that, I'm going to slide my meat to the side, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how I do my stuffing mix, okay? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about the stuffing mix, but let me slide this to the side, okay? Alright, so I have a bowl right here. I have everything that I need. So I'm going to take, and this is the stuffing. This is also from Aldi's. That's this stuffing right here, and it's the chicken brand. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna open this up. Now, I told you guys in the last segment that I cook like my mama and my grandmother, so I don't believe in measurements. And on top of that, because it's just us, I'm not cooking this whole bag, okay? So I'm not gonna follow the instructions on the back. So I'm just gonna rip that open and I'm just gonna pour half, okay? Yeah, that's about half. So let me grab some up. Now, just a quick note. If you guys don't know how to make stuffing, all you have to do is you can just take some old bread, and just season it up really good, and then put it in the oven and let it cook and burn just slightly, and that's how you can make stuffing for yourself. And you just season it really good, okay? All right, so then I have some water right here. I'm gonna pour some of that water in here. Now this is hot water, and it's not to have your stuffing like drenched, but it's just enough so that it can make them get a little soft, okay? But I'm not trying to cook it because remember, I'm stuffing my meat, so it's going to cook when I cook it in the air fryer, okay? So that's about enough for that. And then I'm gonna take this right here. This is a half a teaspoon of butter. And you guys, I know if you don't like this particular kind, you can use a healthier option. It's pretty much up to you, but I would prefer to use this one right here because it just has a really good taste to it. So I'm going to get me a nice scoop of that right there, and it's a little over. Okay, and I'm just going to slide that to the side. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to mix some of this up into this, and as you can see from that water being hot, my stuffing is nice and soft now, okay? So I have that all together. Okay, so now let's get back to the meat. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the meat, and I'm gonna turn it sideways. You're gonna turn it the long way, and you're gonna cut a slot, okay? So I'm gonna actually pick mine up, and I'm gonna turn it sideways and hold it just like that, and I'm just gonna cut a slot, a little pocket right in there, okay? Just like that. I'm gonna open that up, and you see that it's a pocket right there now. I'm gonna take some of my stuffing, and you don't want to eat what's left over because you're gonna be sticking your spoon in and out of the meat, okay? And this is raw meat. And I'm just gonna push that into that pocket just like that, okay? Then what you wanna do is, Deani, I'm gonna need your help because my hands, what is that? I'm gonna need some toothpicks. Okay, yeah, this is perfect. Okay, so now that my daughter just helped me get some toothpicks, I'm gonna take the toothpick and I'm just going to stick that right through there. So I have to remind my family that it has toothpicks in it to keep it closed, okay? So I'm just putting them in there at an angle, okay? So that's nice and stuff. So I'm just gonna sit it onto my baking pan right here, okay? And it don't have to be perfect, you guys. So don't look for it to be perfect and stuff evenly, so on and so forth. You don't have to worry about that. Just do what you know is best, okay? All right, so I'm gonna grab some more of this right here. And what I like about buying meats from Aldi's is it's like a perfect size for our family because we're a family of 4. And so it's perfect size for us, okay? Deani, I'm gonna need some more toothpicks. And I'm just gonna take that toothpick and put it through. So just like that. And you wanna make sure that your toothpick, thank you, perfect. Perfect. And you just want to make sure that your toothpick goes through the top and the bottom piece of meat. So just like that, okay? And I'm just going to sit that on there. Let me go on to the next one. And be careful, because I don't want nobody to cut themselves on my behalf, okay? So make sure that you're being careful, okay? Open that pocket up. And really, you can go in with a smaller spoon. I just chose to use what I use to mix it. But you can go in with a smaller spoon if you like. Okay? And I'm just gonna keep on stuffing that. And you don't have to put the toothpicks in it. I just like to have the toothpicks because it keeps your meat together. And this is a smaller piece, so I don't need two. I can use one. Okay, and I'm gonna sit that one right there. And this is my last one. And you guys, with this particular meal right here, I'm going to take, and once these get done, pretty much done, I'm going to take and I'm going to smother them in cream of chicken, cream of mushroom soup. So that is going to be a whole nother thing. And then I'm going to make some white rice. And I got my cooking meat on right now for my green beans. And then I'm going to season that up, and that is going to be my sides. So this piece is long, so it's going to definitely need two toothpicks. Okay. So just like that. So now that I have my stuffed, all of my pieces are stuffed, I'm going to clean up this mess right here. And I'm going to show you the next step. Okay, so I'm gonna throw all of these toothpicks in the trash because you don't wanna put nothing near your meat. I mean, nothing back in the thing that you use for the meat. Okay, so this is all done, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna sprinkle a little more of these over top, just like that. And then let me grab my air fryer. Here's my air fryer. Now, okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just sit my tray of meat right in there, and I'm just gonna spray the top with some vegetable oil, and this is the non-stick vegetable oil, and you can get this from Walmart. It's the Walmart brand. It was $2 and some change. We brought it when we was away on our trip, and it has came in handy ever since. All right. So I'm gonna wipe my space off. You guys know I like to clean up. You got to keep clean so you won't end up sick. Okay, so I'm gonna turn it so you guys can see how this works. So now that I have my stuff in here, I'm going to go ahead and let me move this up I'm going to show you guys how to work the air fryer. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to take this knob right here. This knob right here is your knob for the time. So this is how long you're gonna put it on. It goes all the way up to 1 hour. This right here is your temperature. The lower your temperature, the better, because then your food won't cook too fast. So it goes all the way up to 480 degrees. 480 degrees, okay? So I like to always put mine on 60 minutes, and I usually keep it on 350, okay? So it automatically begins to cook, and as you can see, it turns this bright fluorescent red color, and you just let it cook. And I'm just gonna let this cook for a good 30 minutes. It should not take long because even though the meat was thick, it's not like super thick, so it should cook pretty quick. And on top of that, your meat is gonna make like a juice at the bottom, so that's another reason why I put the foil down there, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna let that cook, and then I'll come back to show you guys the ending part of the result. All back. I don't know if you can see, but our meat is cooking really well. Let me see if I can give you guys a close-up of the meat. And this is what it's looking like, you guys, okay? So at this particular point right here, I'm going to go ahead and put our cream of chicken over top. You guys see that? Look at that. And that's the thing about putting it in the air fryer, is it gives you this nice crisp on the outside, but it's nice and tender in the inside, okay? So let me show you guys how I do this cream of chicken soup. Okay, so let me put this back on top. Okay, so I have a bowl right here, and it has a little bit of water in it because you're gonna have to thin it out. But this is the cream of mushroom that I'm using, and this is by Campbell's. No, Chef Cupboard. So it's by Aldi's. You guys, I'm going to talk about Aldi's all the time because that is where we get the best for our buck. So we always shop at Aldi's, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna scoop this into my water just like that. And it comes out as more of a jello texture. I don't know why, I guess from it being in a can. So I'm just gonna take a small fork and I'm just going to mix that, but try to take your time. Don't go too fast because you don't want to get everything all over the place, okay? So I'm just gonna mix that up. Just like that, okay? Ooh, you see how it's thickening up now? All right, so we just need to thin it out a little bit, so that's why I use the water, okay? So I'm gonna slide this to the side. Let me go ahead and wipe off my countertop. And I'm going to slide this to the side and take this off so you guys can see. Just like that. Okay, so now that we have that all, look at that, y'all, look at that. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take this and I'm just going to pour it over top. Ooh. Just like that. Now you guys, please excuse the alarm. I call myself baking some cupcakes. The first batch is done, so yes. Okay, but I'm gonna save what's left because I'm going to put that over top of rice. But I'm gonna go ahead and let this cook for maybe another 20 minutes on 250. So I'm just gonna leave it low so that it can cook a little bit longer, and I will show you guys the plate at the end. Okay, so this is my green beans. I already had my meat cooking. Remember when I told you guys about cooking it overnight? So it's really good to cook your meat overnight inside the crock pot because then it'll be nice and like tender the way that you like it. Well, in addition to that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you guys how I make my green beans. The canned green beans taste like green beans from scratch, okay? So my canned green beans, how I make them taste like super duper amazing is, of course, I use my cooking meat. But in addition to using the cooking meat, something else that I do is I cut a potato, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut this potato up, and I'm not gonna cut it into a whole bunch of pieces. It don't have to be super small, just enough where it can cook down, okay? So I just cut one potato up into 2, 4, 6, 8 pieces, okay? So I'm gonna put that potato into that water, okay? And then I have 2 cans of green beans right here, and these are the green beans that I got from Aldi's. You guys gonna hear me talk about Aldi's all the time. This is not a sponsored video at all. I'm going to dump this juice off, but this is not a sponsored video, so nobody's paying me. The people from Happy Harvest, which is the green bean company, they are not paying me, okay? I just want y'all to know, Happy Harvest is not paying me to tell y'all about how I make my green beans, okay? No, Aldi's is not paying me to tell y'all go shop at Aldi's, okay? No, they're not. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to dump my green beans. After I dump the juice off, I'm just going to dump my green beans into the pot, and I like to use the can to kind of like mix it in a little bit, or like, you know, get it down. But always make sure you tuck that in, you guys. One time, I think I still have the scar. Oh yes, I do. Right here, you can see the scar. I'm not sure if it's nice and clear. It's not as clear as it used to be. But right here, you guys, I made some green beans and I did not push the can top down. And my son and my daughter was like, but mom, you always push the top down. And I said, I know, but this particular day I didn't. The can, I went to go put something in the trash, you guys, and the can went straight across my thumb, cut it down to the white meat. So please make sure, you guys, make sure that you always push your can lids down, okay? So I'm gonna let that cook down for a little bit, and I want to say maybe about 15-20 minutes before I put my seasonings in there. So I'll come back and I'll show you the seasonings later on. Okay everybody, so this is the end result right here of our plate. So I have the mashed potatoes, and I sprinkled parsley on top, and that is this right here is our, oh look at that, you guys. This is the pork chop that is smothered. It's smothered in the cream of mushroom soup, you guys. I'm sorry, the cream of mushroom soup, and it is stuffed with the stuffing mix. So you guys did see how I did it all, but something that I'm going to have to do next time, what I recommend everybody who tries this meal, is to get toothpicks that are some other color, because you guys, my husband was playing hide and go seek with his toothpicks. He couldn't find his. He finally found them, but our hopes was that he did not eat them by mistake. So make sure that you try to do different toothpicks, but this here is the end result, and I'll post pictures at the end. Thank you. Bye.